Good morning. It's Thursday, November 18th, and we have a big problem in this country. And I think part of it is because we are diverse. Our diversity is not accepted by all in this country. And it leads to many, many problems, the fact that we are such a diverse nation. That we have people, many different nationalities. All the colors themselves on this diversity, on the fact that anybody can come here and live here supposedly free and do what they want and earn a living. Everything that goes with diversity is good, they say. Deep underneath that, something is not true. I base that on something that I read this morning. Something that is really very upsetting when you look at it closely. When you take a look at this nation and how wealthy we are, and the fact that we still have 50 million people at the poverty line, recognize that not everything is perfect in this country. And you have to be willing to look at that and accept it and then make up your mind that we can do better. And I am saying this because I saw a report this morning that talked about maternity deaths in the United States. And for one of the leading countries in the world, supposedly medically and financially, we are doing a terrible, terrible job with the lives of expectant mothers. Now, let me give you some statistics. Let me show you how poorly we're doing in certain areas. And we shouldn't pride ourselves so much on the fact that we are diverse and we take care of all these people, because we're not doing a good job at that either. I'm not going to talk about our position on abortions or anything like that. I'm talking about maternity deaths. Now, giving birth in the United States is not cheap. It's expensive and it's stressful. And as you all know, unlike most countries in the world, we don't guarantee paid leave. Now, that's only a piece of the problem, but it's just plain dangerous to give birth in this country. Now, these statistics go back about a year, so at the beginning of 2020, we had 754 people died of maternity causes. Now, that's a year's worth of deaths. But that puts us outside the norm of most other developed nations. The mortality rate was 2 times higher in the United States than in Chile, and 4 times higher than Sweden or the Netherlands. Now, why? Why should it be that we have such a high maternity death rate in this country? We are one of the wealthiest and most powerful nations in the world, and we are failing so many mothers-to-be. It is a disgrace that this statistic is even shown to anybody. Why are we, one of the most powerful nations, failing so many mothers? And that's a question that some people tried to answer, and I'm not going to try and answer that thing, because in order to get the correct answer, they used over 43 different metrics. Metrics ranging from reproductive health care to housing conditions. They aim to identify factors that contribute to poor maternal health and which communities are at the highest risk. And I think looking at the communities at the higher risk show us what this country is really all about. Because when you look at that, the results are shocking, but not surprising. Southern states are the worst, with 1/5 of the women living in counties with a high risk of adverse maternal outcome. The states along the coast score a little better, but there are pockets of concern spread across this country, especially in areas with high indigenous population. And the racial disparities are very alarming. Compared to white women, black women are 1.6 times more likely to live in unfavorable conditions, and 2.5 times more likely to die during childbirth. So there we have diversity and no racial implications and all of that. But that's not true. And another huge gap exists between white and American Indian and Alaska Native mothers, where the maternity death rate there is 2.6 times more likely to happen, because they live in conditions that are not conducive to good maternal health. So why? How can we walk around with blinders? How can we have people wandering around this country saying what a great place this is, when we can't take care of all of our citizens equally? It's a shanda that your race or your color determines what your chances of giving birth are. Think about that. Think about that. This is one of the main issues in this country that points to how poorly we are doing for our citizens. How bad our decisions have been with respect to paid family leave and other benefits that would absolutely correct a lot of these problems. So I answer, why do you think it's so dangerous to be pregnant in America? Well, it's because of racism. It's because of not treating people fairly. And I know we all live and believe that there's opportunities in this country, but we as a stifle a lot of activities and a lot of opportunities. So I leave you with that thought. And think about this. We're probably lucky to be alive, those of us in my generation, because we have everything that the people have today. Yet we survived. We were lucky, and we're here. And so I'm here to bitch about these things. And I'll see you in the morning. Bye.